Hi, I'm Chaplain Sharon. I've worked in the jails and the state prisons for many years, and I love what I do, and I love the receptivity of those who are in the jails and prisons, the receptivity to learning about God is all good, and that man is the image and likeness of God, never born of the dust of the ground, never born of Adam, never born in sin, and having no free will. And when they recognize this, it transforms the way they think. And then they start knowing this truth, and this truth sets them free from anger or fear or worry or stress or anxiety or anything that isn't good, because now they have a basis for which to know this truth, that God made them all good, so that He didn't make them mean or diseased or angry or sinful or anything that isn't good. So that's why it's so wonderful to see them awake to this truth. So one week I went into this module, and this individual said to me how upset and disturbed they were because many of their items that the watch commander had approved were not being allowed to be given to her. So when her family would bring them in, they would say no, and the family would have to go home. So this continually irritated. This went on for some time. About a week later, 2 weeks later, she kept telling me about all these incidents of being rejected, her materials being rejected. But she then said, "But I have this rash on my body that is very painful. Would you pray for me?" And I said, yes. So I never said anything about being irritated or anything. I just said I would pray for her. So on the way home, as I was driving, I thought about this continual irritation and unhappiness about what was going on. And so I worked from that standpoint that God made man all good. So irritation is no part of God's idea man. It was a false belief about her identity as the child of God. And I worked from that standpoint to realize that she was absolutely at peace, because that's God made her that way. And so she couldn't veer or detour from that. She had no ability to do that because God made her all good. So the next week I went back to see her, and she said, "Oh, Chaplain, you've got to hear what happened." And I said, "What?" She said, "Well, first of all, the rash disappeared that very day in the evening, and then the next day, all my supplies and everything that I had ordered that my family were bringing into me, they all arrived. They were delivered, and she received them. And I'm no longer irritated. I don't get upset like I used to and get irritated by things. I just am learning to know that God is in control of my life, and that only good is going on." So she was very grateful for that proof, and to realize that the truth is what sets us free.